G'day folks, ZD here. Welcome to my first look at the upcoming indie roguelite, Racine. The indie publisher Goblins reached out with a sponsored offer to showcase this game, and I thought it looked gorgeous, so I checked it out. I've put about 5 hours into it so far, and it's mysterious, unique, and a bunch of fun, so I'm more than happy to showcase it. I've actually been following this publisher for some time because they've been handling some pretty phenomenal games of late. So Racine is a deck building roguelite, which sure is pretty standard fare. But then you realize it's an auto battler and it's in real time. Things do get a whole lot more interesting from there. This video is in 2 parts. First, I'll give you a rundown on how it works because it's a bit too complicated to explain while playing. And then I'll dive into a commentated run for you so you can see how the game plays. You start a run, pick a zone, unlocking more as you defeat the final bosses of each one. The roguelite portion is the zone itself and the run you do within it, but there's an overarching story and campaign to unlock over time. You take some starter cards, your initial deck, and then you can get more over the course of a run to refine your strategy. The cards you take in one run can then show up as starting cards in future runs too. If you have the upgrade unlocked, you can spend a resource to reroll your starting cards as well. The resource is pretty interestingly designed, but I'll get into that during the commentary. In combat, your hero automatically attacks the enemies and they attack back. It is indeed an auto battler. What you do is you play cards to buff your hero and to help them win the fight. Here's the unique twist though, most of the buffs are permanent. So not only are you trying to win this fight, but the game's all about making your characters bonkers powerful over the course of many fights. You'll be comboing cards together to boost your various attributes as much as possible, and that's a big part of the strategy, but you also have to balance having short-term power from a few temporary buffs in the tougher fights and boss battles in order to survive. How you strike a balance between that long-term power gain and that short-term survival is much the crux of the strategy of this game. Now, as it's real time and you're trying to buff your stats, you're motivated to play your combos quickly. But things get even more interesting. Whenever you play a card, you get a shield to block damage. It's got a short duration, but it's very potent. As such, you want to learn the enemy's attack timings and juggle playing out buffs while timing the blocks. All of a sudden, it's kind of becoming a bit of an action combat RPG too. Of course, things can change. I, for example, found a charm that removed the shielding effect of playing cards, but made them instead multiply my attack damage for a short duration. So I wanted to play multiple cards just as my character went to attack. Now, playing cards costs ki, which is gained over time, but also when you defeat enemies. You can also gain ki by discarding with the right click. Using a card replaces it, but discarding it does not, and it costs ki to draw extra cards. There's a whole host of tactical decision making that comes out of this system in terms of how aggressively you draw and discard, especially when you start getting cards that buff each other or combo. There seems to be a lot of nuance here to how you approach this game. Do you clear as many fights as possible to scale your character's power as much as you can? Do you run a lean deck focused on combos, or a thick deck with a lot of cards that can run powerful legendary ones? Do you jam out cards as fast as possible? Or do you time combos and more carefully choose which cards you play? Racine seems to be taking a pretty well saturated genre and making something truly unique within it, which is rare. So now to show you how things actually play out, let's jump into a live commentary of a run. So before I jump into a run, just a quick bit of context. When you first start, you can't see the attack bars on enemies, but you can unlock that pretty quickly here. I will say though, there's still a bit of nuance to it because each enemy's attacks are different. Some of them have a bit more of a wind up and some of them use things like debuffs and stuff like that. And some enemies, for example, summon like a floating arrow that only actually attacks at you once you play a card. So you have to like play multiple cards to block them. Another important thing is you unlock the ability to reroll your starting deck here before you set out as well. So that's a good one to get early on too. There's various other meta upgrades in there. So we check out our starting deck. You always get 8 cards. And it always includes 3 heal, but you can re-roll them using energy. So the energy system's interesting because you start at 100% energy, your financial resource that you spend to like obtain cards and stuff. You start at 100% and you can spend a bit of it and you'll probably get it back by the time you get to a shop. But if you really aggressively roll for a really good starting deck, you might end up a bit low by the time you get to a shop and might not be able to get as much stuff there. So it is a good idea to potentially roll into something that you do like. So we got crit scaling, damage scaling, good combo. We got armor, which is just good in any build, but particularly good on reflect builds. Then we've got shield, which is it scales the effectiveness of that temporary bubble that you get when you play a card. I don't rate that maybe as powerfully as these, although if you're good at it, good at your timings, that is certainly good. And then we've got a blood seeking here, which is, this is an example of temporary buffs. So this one gives us a way to heal through leech, and headhunting, which is a way to draw extra cards. So normally when you play a card, you get one card back, but if you play this and then kill someone on the next attack, you'll draw another card as well. So this looks like a pretty playable deck, but we can just reroll and see what other things we have, because like I said, we'll get some energy back anyway, and I'm not like super blown away by this one. So here we have speed with reflectant armor. Reflectant armor, a very good combo. Evade, not so much a good combo with that, because you don't reflect if you evade, as far as I have noticed, but we do have a boost card, which is good to scale those things. We could always just kind of ignore the evades, for example, and go a reflect armor tank using boost to scale it. The speed also doesn't synergize super well with reflectant armor too, because you don't really need to attack faster if you're playing a pure tank build. So I'm not super blown away, and I might go for another reroll, honestly. Speed and crit, evade, blood seeking, and armor. All right, let's go for this one. We're lacking kind of power gain. We only have the crit. We kind of want the base damage as well, potentially. But I'll go with this one. It's fine. So we can just shift all of those over, because you need a minimum of 8 cards in order to play. Now we can go in. As you can see, I've unlocked the third kind of region here, which has been pretty tough so far. I've actually had a couple attempts at it without success. There's this little fire thing down here that sucks your stats away if you get caught out by it. So we want to be careful of that. So if we want to head over here and maybe get some cards if we can. There's also a relic over here to be gotten. Let's jump into some combat here. And we got speed, healing, and crits. We'll sell the heal and try and block an attack here. My timing wasn't quite right. The heals we don't need right now because our health is basically full. So we can instead focus on playing stat buffs and drawing into them with our key instead. So I can discard this and sell, discard this and sell. There's a blood seeking. We could use that just to get an extra card draw here and hopefully take this one out and heal ourselves a little bit. There's some evade and speed. We'll play those both because we're about to defeat the final. See if I can get an extra one in there. Not quite. So here's our permanent buffs. These carry forwards. So we can bring up this at any point and see. We've got 102% speed now. Evade, which evade is like a decaying chance to completely avoid damage. So the higher you evade, the more times you can effectively evade as well. And then we've got crits scaling at the moment as well. So we'll head over this way. We've only got 3 enemies. You can see this little track at the top. Tells you how many enemies you've got coming your way. And I'm going to focus on selling the temporary buffs and heals right now and trying to get the actual stat scaling options. And I'm going to jam them out pretty quickly because taking a little bit of chip damage here isn't too big a deal. But if I can sync them up with an enemy attack, then I'll try and do so. Which that guy just went for a debuff anyway. So I'll cycle pretty fast, and then right at the end when you kill the last enemy, there's like a brief moment you can play a card. There's actually a meta upgrade you can get that gives you a bit more time to do that. So you can get a little bit of an extra stat buff squeezed in there. I'll sell this and the heal, which I did. Oh, we killed him before they attacked anyway. I'll draw another card here. It's just the heal. So we'll wait. These guys are about to attack, and then I'll try and block it. Nice. I'm getting better on those timings. I evaded that second one. Let's aggressively draw into some stat buffs here. Okay, there's an evade. We're not too far off that. So you can see I'm pretty aggressively drawing and selling to try and get the cards that I want. Right now I have a lot of heals in my deck, so I kind of have to filter through those a bit. The fire has come over this way. I don't want to go too close to it, so I'll go and clear this side a bit. So these guys summon arrows, and then the arrows attack you after you play a card, but they avoid your shield. So you need to play 2 cards back to back. So we need like 25 energy in order to play these back to back, like so, in order to actually shield that arrow properly. So that's kind of like the simple strategy there. If I get 18 here, I can do this as well. There we go. And if we can shield the other guy's attacks at the same time, then that's ideal. This is obviously a little tricky, this one. I'll get a little bit of a heal here, get myself some health back. There's only this last enemy here, so I'll just sell and try and get some more. Whoops. I sold the wrong card there. You'll make some errors. The game where you want to accept that Sometimes being perfect is the enemy of being good, right? Okay, I'll risk going over here now. But I don't want to get caught by that fire if I can help it, though. I'll drop the heals. Get our speed ready. Oh, I didn't block that properly. That's alright. It's only a little bit of chip damage here. We just have to maybe use a heal every so often here. There we go, that was the last guy. Didn't quite get a chance to play that one. Just speed +2 off that one. But now we've got 99 energy, so we've actually filled up by the time we got to like the first instance where we would potentially want to like buy something. So no loss of purchasing power there. Nice time block there for us. I'm not going to have enough to play this in time. A little bit of extra, I can play that. Let's draw another one. Oh, missed that one. Try and get the second one. Nope. Not gonna happen. I'll try and heal up a little bit here. I don't have a lot of damage right now, so the leech only gives me a tiny bit of health. But we got the heals to take care of us for the moment. And block. Oh, he was just debuffing. Sometimes they just run up to you and go meh and stick out their tongues. Which debuffs you. I'm actually not sure what that debuff does. I haven't had a chance to check what it does yet. So we get our card choices now. So Daikatana allows us to attack a group of enemies all at once. Charity. Heal an amount of health points equivalent to the price of the most expensive card in your hand. Ah, so there's cards that cost like 70 that have their amount decay over time. So you can potentially get some decent healing off that. Otherwise, it's a bit weaker than a regular heal. So I'm not sure I love that. And then we've got 15 Reflect. And if you parry, you frighten the enemies, lowering their... Oh no, it gives them a chance of skipping their attack. Interesting. So you can pick up to 3 cards here as long as you can afford them. You can see the cost below them. But you can also re-roll them. So if you pick one, you can re-roll the remaining 2, for example. I actually don't love any of these in this build. We're not really going for a Reflect build. I think we'll go for more of an attack-oriented build. Let's see what we got here. So cure a debuff for 0 cost, but it discards another card. There are some discard builds, of course. Parry, Reflect there, and Duplirin. So that's a temporary, multi-attack. Not that helpful. The reroll cost goes up as we go, so we're kind of running potentially out of resource here. We want to try and buy 3 cards if we can. 10 max HP per card, discard all. Wow, that's the first time I've seen a way of scaling max HP, actually. Interesting. Opportunism reduces the cost of a random card in your hand to 0. And this one scales its cost. Could be nice comboed with hardcover, and you can actually force it by discarding your other cards. You kind of want to play that last anyway. I'm going to take them both. And I'll take the boost as well. Boost multiplies the effect of another card. So I'll take 3, and then I'll discard 2 heals. I might just have to keep 1 heal just to be safe for now. And I think Blood Seeking's kind of weak right now, so that puts me down to the minimum of 8 cards. Let's try and stay well away from that fire there and zoom around this way. So we want to try and draw into our other card here if we can. This guy won't attack us until we're kind of ready anyway, so that's all fine by me. We can cycle until we get the card that we want. He's just summoning his arrows. So there's Speculation and there's Hardcover. So I'll just sell these and I'll play these back to back to block. Oh, we killed him though. Oh no! he was the only one. All right, that's what we want to do. We just want to do it a little faster before we run out of enemies. I need to get some more energy before I go to this next shop as well, actually. Give me some draws here. I'll keep those. Sell these. There's our hardcover there. I'll play the boost first. And then the speculation. And then as our hardcover is... Nice. I think I just got it in time. So that should be 10 max HP? Yeah, there we go. Oh, but it doubled because of the boost. So times 2, so 220 max HP. Wow, that's pretty good actually. That's not bad. Compared to like what you potentially get from armor cards typically. It's hard to get that much armor. And health is a little easier to recover than armor in combat. So here's a shop. Oh, I didn't... Oh, hopefully I have enough. Oh, I've got enough for one thing only. Discarded cards fill the super bar. Okay, that's fine. Lost armor points damage enemies. Cool. More cards choice. Oh. It's a shame that I forgot to go get more energy first. This one's okay though. That one's okay. That's for our like super attack. So there's a mini boss over here. which when you kill it, it lowers the level of enemies, which is building up over time. That makes enemies more dangerous individually, the statistic-wise, but also makes elite enemies like these ones appear. So this one tanks, and this one attacks faster. Let's draw some more cards here. And cycle pretty aggressively until we get hardcover. There it is. And then we'll discard all the other ones. And then I'll try and time these blocks. There's our hardcover. Nice. Wow, this is actually working pretty well. There's a boost one as well. Here's our ultimate attack. The discard is going to be fueling that a bit more. Speculation, make that cost 0. Play it again. 270 max health. Sick. I'll just double the crits here. I need to time my blocks a little better though. I boosted the hardcover, so I should try and draw into it again. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. I should do actually, because there's an eyeball at the end. I kind of need to heal though. Where is my freebie card? Another boost. I'll save that. Speculate. Oh, it costs 32 now. It's still cheaper. That's still technically cheaper. Okay, let me get rid of those. So this won't attack until we play a card. So we'll just play these back to back. Let's go this one first. And then play them all like so. And then block with a crit there as well. Super attack to finish him. Sick. That was awesome. Got a little bit of crit and evade, but mostly we got like another 70 health. That's pretty cool. My current life is a little low though. I did take a fair bit of damage there, so I gotta be a bit careful of that. We'll go down this way towards the mini boss. There's our speculation, nice and cheap at the start. I'm gonna try and play a heal here. Yeah, I didn't quite shield though. Okay, we've got to sell some of these. There's our hardcover. Can I get a boost as well? I should probably play another one of those maybe. Let's try and get a heal in here. There's our boost. Alright, speculation, boost, hardcover, ultimate attack. Just jam out some evades. Need another card, I might as well multiply this out and get some more speed as well while we're at it. This guy ignores evade, eh? It's alright, we don't really have any. Max HP is going up by a good amount. Current HP is still a little low though. We get a little bit of healing at the end based on how much ki I have. That's one of my meta progression unlocks. Could be worth trying to get some more healing, maybe from this next batch of cards, although my current energy is too low, so I can't really afford to shop there right now. There's speculation. Let's see if we can get a boost. There it is. I boosted the speculation, which actually isn't good. Like, so maybe I need to think about the order of that a bit better. Cycle a bit here. Okay, I boosted the hardcover that time. Oh, it actually worked. Nice. Shielding. Just trying not to take any more damage if I can help it. A little bit of healing. Not really, like, timing these guys' attacks out very well here. Hopefully we get another chance to play that other hardcover. See if I can get that evade. Oh, I'm not sure I got that there. I need more healing. Ooh, shielded and healed. Perfect. There's opportunism. There we go. Let's finish him off. There's another group of enemies coming though. My health is getting a bit low. I'm a bit reckless with this strategy. It's good, but man, I'm pretty reckless. I need 36. Ooh. Mate, we are a bit iffy right now. Oh no, I gotta not play the single cards against this guy. No, but the others are chipping away at me. I need enough ki. I'm burned out. I'm burned out. Play cards desperately. No. Not quite. Not quite. Too reckless. I think I'm onto something there. I think there's a potential strategy to be had. That's alright. It gives you an idea of some of the like sorts of things you can aim to try and pull off. So we had a pretty interesting combo there. And because we picked up these cards for the first time, they're now available as cards that we can see as future starting cards. But I like that idea of, you know, a very expensive, very powerful card like that and speculation, trying to time it with boosts and things like that. You just so that's what I mean, like, about the nuance of the strategy in this game. You want to try and do things like that, but doing that at the same time as managing just your current survival in your current match, right? Because that's like a big long-term thing, huge long-term gain, but short-term challenging to pull off whilst also blocking and healing and giving yourself enough power in your current match. We got an achievement there for discarding a boosted card. Oopsie. Nice. Good achievement. It actually unlocks new things. I like that. I like when you do something bad and the game gives you an achievement and unlocks something cool for you to see in future runs. I like that a lot. Feeling sad that you didn't get to see the mini-boss. Through the magic of editing, here I am on another run, just about to fight the mini-boss. This time around, I've got a bit of a reflect armor build going on. Not particularly strong, but I've managed to scale my armor and reflect to a decent amount. I've got 170 armor and 156 reflect. We'll do the little fight before the mini-boss and then the mini-boss for you. Unless I die in this round, of course. Let's get some extra reflect here. A little bit of leech. I don't need the leech right now because I've got enough armor that I can survive most fights without actually going down into my health. So right now I'm really just trying to focus on scaling my reflect as much as possible so that I'll be able to kill the boss. Hopefully before they break through my armor is the idea. I have a little bit of temporary armor gain in the fight, and then I'm going to keep a little bit of healing around with me as well, in case the fight does get down into my health. But that's my basic plan at the moment. Just try and keep that armor stacked up during the course of the fight, and probably in the actual boss fight, just focus on parries as much as possible. Let's get another card here. I don't really need to even shield too much in this fight because my armor is so hefty. Not interested in getting that speed. I'd replace that card basically as soon as I can. Right now, all I really care about is getting reflect. It's a good idea if you have cards that you don't want to use to keep them in hand until you pull the ones you do want and then get rid of them, if you can afford to do so key-wise. Because then, if they're already drawn into your hand, they're not in your deck and you can't draw them again. Whereas if you like replace, draw like that, you might just keep drawing the same card over and over. So it's a good idea to draw them all at once like that. Let's get a little bit more reflect here as well. I'm going to try and stop the timer from increasing too much. The problem with going a tanky build is that you can take a while to kill things, potentially. At least until you get that reflect score really high. In which case, you may need to find some way to speed things up a little bit. Some other way to leverage. We're going to block that bomber there, because our armor is actually getting pretty low here. This fight's actually dragging on a bit. A little bit unexpected. I might need to see about using this parry block here if I can. There we go. Get a little bit of extra armor back. I'll get rid of this and either go some more armor or more shielding. But I did actually lose a bit more life than I wanted to here. It's going to make the boss fight a little bit harder. I was overconfident in my armor amount. But this fight was way harder than some of the previous ones I've encountered. But maybe because it's like the pre-mini boss. Also, the enemy level is like really going up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to be going into the next fight at about half health then, which is certainly not ideal. Okay, alright. We did manage to get a decent amount of max armor and reflect there. And thankfully our armor does refill, but then I'm down 100 life in the mini-boss fight. This isn't even the main boss. This is, again, just the mini-boss. I'll have to leave the main boss for you to discover yourself when you check out the game. Creepy tree creature. Okay, let's draw some cards here. Alright, what do we got here? I already just took a 50 hit. Let's try and get the reflect there. How does it work mechanically? Damn, I've taken a lot of damage there already. Wait till the bar to fill up and then... Yeah, okay, I shielded a lot of damage there, but we still took so much damage though. It looks like they build up leaves and the leaves attack, but he did so much damage to himself though. It's just about whether I can kind of hang in there enough. I'm just going to focus on cheap cards to parry with, and even just healing is fine. Try and get that shield if I can. Need to figure out this thing's mechanics a little bit more. Ooh, I was a little low. I was a little late on that there. I think it's going to die to reflect here in a second though. Yeah, nice. There we go. We blasted it. That was about as close as you can get. That's, I mean, that's good. We're doing our break yourself upon my body build. About as good as can be done there. Perfect. As you can see, defeating the mini-boss drains the levels that have stacked up on the enemies. So You could probably not do the mini boss, but things are gonna potentially get a bit out of control. Taking down the mini boss weakens the enemies for a while so that you can push forwards without getting overwhelmed, which I was starting to in this fight just beforehand. Sadly though, I will have to leave it there for now. Hope you enjoyed this first look. It was a pleasure checking out Racine, so shout out to the publishers Goblins. It'll be launching on November 6th, so keep an eye out. There's a link in the description below where you can wishlist the game, and it'll be launching for $9.99, I believe, with a 10% discount. So check it out then. Anyway, folks, that's it for now. I'm Ziggy D, and thanks for watching.